It's Gwen Levey and the Breakdown, and Gwen Levey joins us. How are you doing, Gwen? You're on with me and Dwayne Kennedy. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's so good to be on with y'all. I was listening to y'all earlier.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I know that you've been performing and you've had pieces written about you. How are things going in your part of the world in Tennessee?
You know, things are going well. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of support here, and I always joke that if you see one Trump sign, it's one too many Trump signs, but I'm seeing a lot of Kamala Harris signs, which is really exciting, and I think people are really fired up, even here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Nice. I love hearing that. And you got some great candidates running as well, like Gloria Johnson. And I know that we talked to her when we were at the DNC. It's so much great work that you're doing. Who have you heard from that you were surprised by with the music that you're doing?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so happy I saw that you had Gloria Johnson on your show, which is awesome. And I feel like it's been a wild ride, and I kind of was surprised. So if anyone watched the DNC, well, we all watched the DNC, there's an amazing woman named Hadley Duvall who is a survivor, and she was actually the one who got to speak at the DNC, and Kamala Harris just put out an ad with her and using a Billie Eilish song, and me and Hadley are currently talking and are going to be doing a project together. It's called Survivors for Harris, and there's another wonderful person named Zachary Miles who is also behind it. And it's officially endorsed by the Harris and Walz campaign. So we'll be doing some big things with them coming up.
I love that. That's amazing. Oh my God. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and I feel like it's so important that sharing your story just as a survivor. I didn't always, this very recently I shared my story, and look where it's brought me. It's to these wonderful people who are survivors and speaking out themselves. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God! And that's the thing is, I know that you are really embracing the energy of this election season, and because it really has changed when you first put the song out, right? Because this was in response, of course, to all the horrific things we're learning about what is happening to women and their own autonomy, we were all ready to do the hard work of making sure that President Biden would win. But now that things have changed, and my reason for going out door knocking and doing the work that I do is for my children's future, is to make sure that we live in a country where they are safe and loved. And I think that's what all we are looking for in life. And with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz now on the ballot, the winds have changed for us a little bit, haven't they?
I think people are fired up, especially women, people who are minorities, and people who are, I feel like the really extreme conservative base has been targeting. And I think that Kamala Harris is a voice for everybody. And Joe Biden was as well. But I think, especially with the younger crowd, they're definitely more fired up now that they have Kamala Harris. She's an amazing orator. And I actually watched your show and listened to it when the debate was happening. And I'm so glad. I was with friends. I was sick that week, so I couldn't get together with any of my friends. So it was nice to be able to listen to y'all and hear your commentary, because it was much needed during that. It was very stressful, obviously, before the debate. I don't think anybody knew it was going to happen, but man, did Kamala Harris show the world that she's the right leader for us.
Yeah, she put the hammer down on that fool.
She did. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was amazing. And how is your band doing? Because this is also a group effort by everybody. How are the bandmates doing?
My band is amazing, and there was a new article that came out on Medium.com about my story and then also my band, and it was so amazing to be able to say, my bass player, she's in her 60s, and she is a, hardcore badass feminist. And so are both both guys in the band. They're feminists, and we talk about the issues that are happening a lot. And it's just amazing to have that kind of support. Because I know I met with actually a bigger star recently and went out to lunch with them, and they were saying that their band, very famous band, it's mixed politics for them, and they, there's some contention there. So I'm so lucky that my band, we all have, we see eye to eye,
You say everybody in your band is sane?
Yes, everyone is sane.
Yeah. Yeah.
And up to date on the issues and cares. Like, there's so many people I feel I've met, unfortunately, that are complacent and don't really seem to care about the issues, don't seem to care that people are losing their basic human rights, and, among other issues. And I just feel like it's so important to surround yourself with the people that, give you the same energy back and are going to uplift you and inspire you.
Dwayne's looking at me like, why are you responding to that nasty texter? I'm going to do that right there. That's the thing. I don't usually respond to folks, but, the people look at the work that we do and have to find something that's wrong with it, right? And we're going out and rolling up our sleeves and getting into the mix. And maybe it's that they're angry that they can't do that, or that they don't have the creativity, the support. That's the other thing, too. I know that your family supports what you do, right?
Yeah, my family is incredibly supportive. They, I feel like it's a family affair when it comes to, my music videos. And, my parents help make the set for that. And, we bounce ideas off of each other. And, they're listening to me right now speaking to you. So, they're incredibly supportive. I'm so grateful. And, they're the ones who inspired me to get into the politics in the first place. Even though I'm not technically in politics, but I'm definitely, I would consider myself an activist.
Well, here's the thing. If you don't get involved in politics, politics gets involved in you. So there's a choice.
Some shape or form, right? Yeah.
Especially this election. Because if this lunatic wins, it's over.
Yeah.
It is over.
It's our last chance, for a lot of people to maybe even vote. It's really... really, really important people wake up to what's happening. And, I've had some really close people in my life that I've had to let go, unfortunately. Just that, I don't know if we're ever going to repair what's happened between us, but, people that really surprised me with, this is what I like to say, and Janice Ian is someone I follow, and she posted something about how I don't lose friends over politics. I lose friends over morals.
Yes!
And that's really the issue here right now. And that's why distancing myself from people that don't have the same morals, it's unfortunate by who they're voting for that, you're making that assumption. But how else are you supposed to, what else are you supposed to think, and there's so many issues. Especially here in Tennessee. I don't know if I've talked on your show. Governor Bill Lee kind of under the table passed a law a few months ago saying that a county clerk can deny a marriage license to anyone who's in an interracial, interfaith, or gay couple.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why that didn't make the news more. I don't even think it was national. But that's how backwards we're going. And, as someone who, I'm bisexual and I'm also in an interracial relationship, for these people that were close to me that, unfortunately I had to part ways with for now, they're like, well, how could you, I can't believe you would think that I don't care and about you or your relationship. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to think of? Because of who you're voting for. And it's really sad that this administration has allowed our country to become so divided and has torn families apart, has torn relationships apart.
Yeah.
And I'm from a very personal level, and it's really painful.
Who are some of the people, you don't have to get it all, roll out the list, but that surprised you the most that were voting for Trump that you wouldn't have expected? Anybody in particular? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's as specific as I probably want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
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 Well, we talked to our friend Jess Piper out of Missouri, the Dirt Road Dem.
I love her.
Right? Yeah, how you guys,
Yeah.
I want to get you guys together. I mean, that would be a great event. But she talks about how everyone's, ringing the alarm bells about Project 2025. And Project 2025 is being implemented in states like Tennessee,
Right.
like Missouri,
Yes.
like Mississippi. It's already happened. Defunding the schools, like Gwen just said, taking people's rights and dignity away.
Yeah. I don't get how a cat like, how anybody could support it, but then you get somebody black, you get Clarence Thomas. Do you know that? Are you not even in favor of your own relationship? Like, I'm thinking that's a long way up the driveway just to say you want a divorce.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Good point.
Loving versus Virginia was one of the court cases he didn't cite when he talked about going in after Roe v. Wade, and the other court cases he was talking about, the Ogleford, I think it's called, the one, Oberfell, for, a gay marriage, and then there's one that was for birth control, and he didn't cite Loving versus Virginia, but it's right under there, and people were pointing that out right when Roe v. Wade was overturned. So definitely goes under that, basic human rights that they're coming for. It's really, really, really sad, especially, when you're someone who just wants to love who they want to love.
Right. And what's it to you? Who cares? What? Why are you so concerned with that? It astounds me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a way of control. And, it's the same party that is preaching, we're pro-life, yet, there's so many. To me, pro-life means that every single person, every single child is clothed, housed, has access to proper education and proper health care, is properly loved. It isn't forced into the world unwanted. And, these are the same people that are voting for politicians that, vote against people having affordable health care and, education. That's why they're defunding public schools, because, it doesn't matter. Public school is supposed to be for everybody, and education should be for everybody, but they want the populace poor and easily, and so that they can control them more easy.
Poor and ignorant.
That's where I think, that's what I think it is, really. And there's a lot of reasoning behind it, but that definitely is a big part of it. They want to control people.
Yeah, absolutely. And to make people in what they believe, this, create the society that they imagine, which has never existed anywhere.
No, except in their crazy heads. And the irony is, particularly a cat like Trump, who wants to control everybody and can't control himself. Just start with that. I know, right? Start with that.
Talk about emotional.
Yeah.
But I was talking about women are so emotional, they can't run things, but yet here we have the most emotional person who's just spewing out this hateful rhetoric that unfortunately people are really listening to and believing. I can't believe the race is even so close right now.
I know.
It's really sad.
Yeah,
it's really sad.
It's an indictment. It's less an indictment on him because he's a lunatic. I always say, but it's more an indictment on the country and the people that enable him and follow him.
Yeah. That's the scary part. It always has been. Yep.
Yes. Otherwise, he would just be a pantsless hobo in the street.
Yeah, and I think people are buying this lie that he is going to fix the economy. It's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
If you're an average person, he's not going to help you at all.
He's not going to fix crap.
Nope.
I know. And that's what I hear from most of these people who are voting for him. They're saying, well, he's going to fix the economy, and that's more important to us than people having basic human rights. And that's where the moral issue is. Because, first of all, you're believing a lie, but yet you don't care what happens to other people. And, a lot of these people are Christian people. They're people that, have faith and are religious. And it's like, well, you're not listening to what Jesus believes. That's not what Christianity is supposed to be about. So, it's really mind-blowing that
it is.
I know they have to deep down understand that and know that what they're doing is possibly wrong, which is probably why they project so much. Mm-hmm. And, Patti, you were saying you're getting hate texts right now because they, people either are envious because they want to have a platform to speak out, but it's they want to spew hate and it's really, really sad. It makes me so sad.
Me too. Although here's people that aren't sad because they want to know if they can see you. Garrett is calling from South Elgin. Hey, Garrett, you're on with Gwen Levey from the Gwen Levey and the Breakdown.
Hi, Patty. Hi, Gwen.
Hey.
My son's a circus performer at Pigeon Forge at the Pirates Voyage, and we're going down there in a week.
Awesome.
First of October.
That's Dollywood,
Wondering
right?
where you're playing. Yeah, Dollywood.
Awesome. You said next week?
October 1st. We'll be down there for a week. So, do you have a website that I could look up your schedule?
It's Gwen Levey and the Breakdown.com with 2 E's and Levy, Levey. And we are playing a spot in East Nashville called Buds and Brews on October 5th. If you're there,
Hey!
I'd love to see you.
You said and the Breakdown?
Yeah, so it's at Buds and Brews. Yeah, Gwen Levey and the Breakdown.com. You can also find them on Facebook. And she'll be at Buds and Brews in East Nashville on October 5th.
Okay. All right.
And
I'll
I
look
do
you up.
add that show. I'm glad that you reminded me. I need to go on my website and update it. So I'm going to do that right after I get off the talking to Patty.
I've been saying that about my website for the last 4 years, so I'm with you on that.
Well, real quick, when I talk to people about this upcoming election, there's only 2 issues, and one of them's not the economy. 2 issues are democracy and women's rights.
Yep.
Correct.
Boom.
Yep.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, safe travels, Garrett. Thank you so much for calling and let us know how the show goes. You've got to go see her.
You know something, Patty? In all my years of ever being on your show with you, I've never heard anybody open a sentence with, "My son's a circus performer." That's a first for me.
Yeah, at Dollywood, Dolly Parton's amusement park down here, they do a lot of interesting things, but it's very cool.
That's
Okay.
awesome. Well, be safe, Garrett. Have a good time, and our best to your family. Gwen, it's always great to catch up with you. Again, it's Gwen Levey and the Breakdown on Facebook. You can order merchandise, download the music, and find out about their upcoming performances. Gwen, can we check in with you again very soon?
Oh, yes, please. I'm always so happy to talk to you, and eventually we should do a show together.
Yes, please. And Dwayne, that would be fun.
Yeah.
All 3 of us. It'll be so fun.
Excellent. Thank you, Gwen. Have a wonderful evening. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe.
All right.
Be well.
Y'all, you have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Let's take a break here, and I'll see if I can get to some of our calls before we wrap up tonight on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul.